Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ms. McCarthy, on June 27, 2012, you sent a letter to me relative to the issue of ethanol and the waiver on E15. And I asked a question, does the EPA remain confident that E15 will not damage car engines from vehicles of model years 2001 and later? The letter you signed responded, the EPA remains confident in the technical basis for the E15 partial waiver decision. This question can be answered simply yes or no. You remain confident in the technical basis for the E15 decision?
I do.
Okay. Now here's what others are saying. Ford says Ford doesn't support the introduction of E15 into the marketplace for the legacy fuel. Ford is not approved in the owner's manual, is considered misfueling, and any damage resulting from misfueling is not covered by the warranty. Mercedes-Benz, any ethanol blend above E10, including E15, will harm emission control systems in Mercedes-Benz engines, leading to significant problems. Honda, vehicle engines were not designed or built to accommodate the higher concentrations of ethanol. There appears to be the potential for engine failure. The AAA's automotive engineering experts have reviewed the available research and believe that additional assessment is warranted to more fully document to what extent the sustained use of E15 in both newer and older vehicles will cause significant problems such as accelerated engine wear, fuel system damage, and false check engine lights, and the Coast Guard. Increasing the blend to E15 can be expected to exacerbate any fuel system deterioration now being reported with E10 blend gasoline. Fuel leaks cause an unacceptable risk of fire and explosion. Now, my question to you is are the auto manufacturers, the AAA, the small engine makers, and the U.S. Coast Guard wrong? And how can the EPA continue to ignore these concerns?
Congressman, I am not going to speak to their issues that particularly the car manufacturers might have relative to their liability and warranty considerations. What I can tell you is that EPA with DOE did extensive testing of E15 on cars. We understand that there are challenges prior to 2001, which is when some new, more robust engines were required in those vehicles. We have done extensive testing. We continue to believe that E15 is appropriate, and if it were available, it would be being used by individuals for vehicles that are 2001 and younger.
Well, that's not what the manufacturers say. That's not what the AAA says. They don't make cars. They represent motorist interest. That's not even what the Coast Guard said, because we're dealing with small engines, including marine engines, lawnmowers, snowmobiles, and things like that. Now, ma'am, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
I have a limited amount of time.
All right.
You will make a very good senator if you would like to filibuster. I have a bill that this committee has reported favorably out to require the National Academies of Science to conduct an unbiased assessment of the science surrounding E15. There seem to be enough questions relating to EPA's conclusions on this. So why don't you support further testing of E15, and why are you opposed to having an unbiased referee making a call on this fuel?
I don't recall, Congressman, that I've spoken to this issue. EPA.
Well, will you support my bill for more testing on this issue?
I'm sorry, I have not read the bill, but
well, the bill's been around for a long time because it was sponsored in response to your letter, where there's a disagreement on whether the EPA has conducted unbiased research. Now, how about having another look at this before people's engines get wrecked?
additional research that's done credibly and transparent is also always welcome.
Fine. I would appreciate a letter from the EPA and from you supporting my bill, and then maybe we can put it on the floor.
But I do feel that we have sufficiently done our analysis, and I continue
Well,
to rely on
then I guess having an unbiased view is something that you won't always support.
Well,
I yield back the balance of my time. Enough